Mike Rodriguez and Nathan Wood, 105.3 The Fan, your home of the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys organized team activities start on Tuesday. We heard from head coach Jason Garrett this week.
Tony's been around our offense for a long time, and we think the lines of communication are open in a really positive way. So we'll continue to have it be that way both in the offseason and during the season. And, Tony's worthy of that opportunity. It's really been that way since he's been our quarterback.
Nathan, that's not a surprise to hear Jason Garrett say exactly that about Tony Romo and the remarks that Jerry Jones has made this offseason about Romo putting in some extra time.
It's funny because I feel like they're playing a game of telephone. Like, Mike, somebody started the story on what Tony Romo's season is going to be like with his new contract, with his veteran leadership position on the team, and somehow the translation from that initial point to Jerry and to Jason, somehow that line of communication got mixed up because right now they're not even in the same book. You could say they're not on the same page. I don't even feel like they're on the same book because everything Jerry says from the very beginning, after the draft concluded, when he started throwing out Tony Romo's going to put in Peyton Manning time, and Jason believes that we'll have more success this way. Have you heard Jason Garrett come out and say, oh, yeah, well, we're definitely going to be better if Tony Romo takes over more of what I used to consider my responsibilities? Because to me right now, it's Jerry Jones saying, I paid Tony Romo a lot of money. I've invested 6+ years in him, which he's also done with Jason Garrett, and I want it to the point right now where Tony Romo has it all on his shoulders. And it's at this point now where Jason Garrett's going, crap, he's giving away all of my duties. He's already talking about maybe me not calling all the plays. Now he's talking about Tony Romo basically being the coordinator on the field, a la Peyton Manning, to where what am I doing? Am I literally just walking around saying, hey, guys, playing good today. Keep it up. Keep it up. Good job.
But my thing with this story, and this is really kind of targeted to the casual Cowboys fan, why is this story taking now an angle of Jerry is saying this about Romo time and the extra time that he has to put in, and Jason is saying this about the extra time that Romo has to put in? Why has this now been perceived that they're not on the same page? And in your opinion, why are they, to me, it sounds like they're saying the same exact thing, right?
No, what are you... Everything that Jerry Jones has said from the very beginning is that he's going to have more presence, more time. The offseason is going to be more important for him. He's going to have more
Garrett just said that.
But he's saying it in a way that doesn't take away his responsibilities. Like, I almost feel like when Jason Garrett hears all the things that Tony Romo is being handed by Jerry Jones, that he's saying some of this is stuff that is my job, my responsibilities. And when Jerry Jones is calling out all these names, he's going to put in Peyton Manning time. He's going to do things that Roger Staubach did. And Jason Garrett's going, he's going to do the same thing he's done since he's been our quarterback.
Okay, now I think he was saying that as a defense of Romo, saying that he's always been this active.
So is it just Jerry propping him up then? Because somewhere between what Jerry Jones is saying about the extra time, the extra everything for Tony Romo, and then on the very flip side, Jason Garrett goes, this is the same stuff he's always done. Somebody has to be right, and there's no middle ground on this, I don't feel like.
All right, let's go back to the source. I want to hear a little bit more from Jason Garrett. This past week, he was talking at the Cowboys annual golf tournament, and, Garrett is going to be asked about this, I'm sure, again, once OTAs start. Romo's going to be asked about it, I'm sure, 1,000 different ways till Sunday when the OTAs start. But let's hear what Garrett had to say more this week when he was asked about his quarterback's role.
Again, we're always trying to foster that communication. And it's our job as coaches to put a great plan together. But again, you're thinking about trying to put your players in the best situation possible, trying to put your quarterback in the best situation possible. And communication is a big part of it.
So no difference. It'll be the same as it's been.
Yeah. I mean, you always want more. You always want to do that part of it better. And when you're communicating well with each other, I think that's a big piece of that puzzle.
All right, Mike, let me ask you the question.
Chime in, Jeff.
Because
I'm out here saying, well, you guys tell me where they're not on the same page.
Here's, to me, the biggest difference. Jerry Jones said Tony will be a part of game planning at Valley Ranch on Monday and Tuesday, which he's never been. And if Tony is out there on Monday and Tuesday,
7 a.m. to 6.
He does have more responsibility. And so you got Jason Garrett who says nothing is changing, which is 100% false if Tony's out there those 2 days a week, right?
I just get such a kick out of stories like this that just don't happen.
It's because of Jerry Jones.
But and that's the greatness of the Dallas Cowboys. And he makes our job so easy.
Oh, yeah.
But if this was any other city and any other quarterback and any other situation, these are Cowboy stories. These are Cowboys off-season stories that just get blown out of proportion, and they keep the soap opera going because, to me, this isn't even a story, guys. And I don't even think the play calling thing was a story. But the play calling was the first version, was the first chapter in the off-season soap opera, and this, in a way, is the second chapter.
Okay, if it's not I understand Jerry likes to just sometimes if he sees a microphone in front of his face, he has to say something controversial because his job in the offseason is to keep the Cowboys brand, the Cowboys name up there so people like us continue to talk about them, so people nationally continue to talk about the Cowboys. But what does he win out of saying all these ridiculous statements about Tony Romo, that he's going to do Roger Staubach things, that he's going to put in Peyton Manning time, that he's going to come in even more so that he has more responsibility in the offense, for Jason Garrett to just turn around when he's in the room with him, when he's up there at Valley Ranch with him, and he goes, nothing's going to change. Well, nothing is going to change.
And that's maybe my naivety on the situation, because when I cover the Cowboys on a daily basis, I always knew Romo as the guy that was putting in that extra time. I mean, he was the guy that was working out at 6 a.m. and getting there early and staying late, and he always was that guy. So that, to me, that's the only Tony Romo I know. And we'll have Brian Broaddus on the show at 3:30, and I can ask Brian that, but I don't know any other Tony Romo. I always knew Romo as that guy that just loves it so much, you can't drag him out of there.
Well, and Nate, if the question is what is there to gain by this, I think it's the same as pretty much every other time Jerry Jones says something. Sports Center.
Yeah.
You will have outlets nationally that will pick this up and go, Romo compared to Staubach by Jerry Jones.
Okay, and Jeff, this is my point. Whenever he was on SiriusXM, he says, it'll be a big change. That is a change. He certainly has had input, but not the kind of input he's going to have going forward. To me, that tells me Jerry thinks, A, that Tony Romo is either going to put in a ridiculous amount more than he has, which Jason Garrett considers what he's already done. So this is either Jerry still has no concept of how much time Tony Romo's either there, or he's right on and Jason Garrett's trying to go, look, guys, I've already been involved with Tony this much. Me and him are always this involved together.
It's great.
Every time you've seen success, it's because me and him have already had the same input on. Nothing's changing. The way we go about it, because to me, this entire offseason, everything that has happened around Jason Garrett, name a positive thing about it. Maybe we're going to take the play calling away from you. Maybe we're going to let other people like Tony Romo have input on who we draft. Whenever you saw in the draft room, they go, listen, Jason, we know what you want to do, but we're going to go this other way.
And a lot of people were saying that Jason Garrett did not look happy during the first round.
I sat there at Valley Ranch and I looked
we were
at the
draft
TV.
And you're saying, look at Garrett, oh my God.
Stephen Jones sat there and looked Jason Garrett right in the eye after they made the pick. Jerry left the room.
No, after they drafted down.
Yeah, after they traded down.
Right.
And
I'm so sorry, Jason.
Stephen looked at him like they just took away his puppy, and they were trying to explain to him, now listen, your puppy was going to get too big for you to handle, okay? So we had to get rid of him. But listen, we're going to get you a really nice hamster and maybe a cat later on. But you can't have that really big dog, and here's why. And to me, now it's to the point where everybody's asking Jason Garrett, okay, well, if you're having your play calling duties taken away, and Romo's going to have more say on how the playbook is set up, and maybe you don't have as much voice in the draft room, is it not in Jason Garrett's defense possibility to just go, nothing's changing, guys. Nothing's changing.
Jerry Jones is the ultimate puppeteer, and I think he likes the fact that he has two guys
dance.
in Jason Garrett and Tony Romo that they can handle the strings. They can handle, Jerry just kind of playing along and toying with these guys because they're good at it. Romo handles himself well in these situations. Garrett handles himself well in these situations. I like the one report that came out that's saying that, Romo missed the annual golf tournament that the Cowboys hold every year because he was helping with the installation of the offensive plays for the OTAs next week. So in a way, it was kind of like, hey, Tony, you might want to stick this one. Just stay home with the wife and the kid today. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to say that you're helping with the plays and kind of stir the pot a little bit more with this. So the never-ending drama at Valley Ranch continues.